Good morning to one and all. I am dealing with the course of Diploma Thermal Engineering 1. Today's topic is Joule's Law and Reynolds Law. The outline of my presentation is Joule's Law, problems on Joule's Law, Reynolds Law, problems on Reynolds Law. So laws of perfect gases. In laws of perfect gases, we are discussing about the Joule's Law. So, in the analyzing at a constant volume process, it is seen that the change in internal energy is equal to the rate of heat transfer. Since there is no work process the boundary. Means at a constant volume process, the rate of change of internal energy is equal to the amount of the heat transfer or heat energy. Energies in thermal engineering are of two forms, work energy and heat energy. So the internal energy is equal to the heat transfer and this system should not cross the boundary. So this process is represented by the equation Q of 1 2 is equal to U2 minus U1 is equal to MCV T2 minus T1. So Q of 1 2 represents, Q represents the rate of heat transfer and 1 represents the initial condition, 2 represents the final condition. So 1 2 represents the change of state from initial condition to final condition, that is represented by a process 1 2. So Q of 1 2 represents the rate of heat transfer for the process 1 2. And U2 represents the initial condition, U2 represents the final internal energy for the process 2. And U1 represents the initial internal condition energy of the process 1 2. So in this process 1 2, initial represents means first process. So it is represented by U1. And M represents the mass of the gas. T1 represents the initial temperature of the process 1 2. T2 represents the final temperature of the process 1 2. So the Joule's law states that internal energy of a perfect gas depends on the absolute temperature of a gas and independent of change in pressure and temperature only. Means the internal energy of a perfect gas is it depends only on the absolute temperature of a gas, and it does not depends upon the pressure and temperature. Okay, so mathematically the above statement, the internal energy of a perfect gas, so internal energy is represented by the letter U. So change in internal energy is represented by delta U or du. So du depends only on absolute temperature. So du depends only on temperature. So du is directly proportional to dt, since u is a function of absolute temperature of a gas. So this proportionality is removed by a constant. So that constant is known as Cv. So du is equal to Cv into dt. So if m kgs of the gas, for the above equation can be written as Q of 1 2 is equal to U2 minus U1. Means du represents the change in internal energy. So U2 final condition minus initial conditions represents the change in internal energy. So Q of 1 2 is equal to U2 minus U1 is equal to MCV T2 minus T1. So the above equation represents the change in internal energy for all the thermodynamic process. Okay. Problems on the Joule's law. First problem. The temperature of 3.5 kgs of a gas is raised from 100 degrees centigrade to 250 degrees centigrade at a constant pressure. Find the amount of the heat supplied to the gas. Take Cv is equal to 0.713 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Means here in this problem it represents the gas. So the gas is heated from the temperature of 100 to 250 degrees centigrade. So the initial temperature of the gas is 100 degrees centigrade. After heating the temperature changes from 100 to 250 degrees centigrade. Okay, so the mass of the gas before heating is 3.5 3.5 kgs. This heating process is at a constant pressure process. So pressure remains constant in this heating process. So we have to calculate the amount of the heat supplied of the gas. So we have to calculate Q of the gas. Take Cv is equal to, means specific heat at constant volume is represented by 0.713 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So this is the problem. So in that given data, the mass of the gas M is equal to 3.5 kgs. Specific heat at constant volume of a gas Cv is equal to 0.713 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Initial temperature of the gas T1 is equal to 100 degrees centigrade. So we have to convert degree centigrade in terms of Kelvin. So 100 plus 273, that is equal to 373 Kelvin, and final temperature of the gas T2 is equal to 250 degrees centigrade. So we have to convert degree centigrade in terms of Kelvin. So 1 degree centigrade is equal to 273 Kelvin. So 250 plus 273 is equal to 523 Kelvins. So what we have to calculate? The amount of the heat transfer for the process Q of 1, 2. So 1 represents the initial condition, 2 represents the final condition. So we know that from the Joule's law, Q of 1, 2 is equal to, means the rate of change of internal energy is equal to mCV T2 minus T1. We know the values of M, CV, T1, T2 from the given data. By substituting these values, we'll get the change of, we'll get the Q of 1, 2 as 525 kilojoules. Okay, the amount of the heat supplied of a gas when the temperature increases from 100 to 250 degrees centigrade is 525 kilojoules. So this is the first problem. Second problem, a certain amount of a gas occupies 0.2 meter cube at 12 bars. To what temperature is to be heated from initial temperature of 100 degrees centigrade, so that the net change in internal energy becomes 200 kilojoules. Take Cp value as 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and Cv value as 0.72 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So this is the problem. In that problem, the mass of the gas occupies 0.2 meter cube. Means the volume of a gas represented here is 0.2 meter cube, and the pressure of that gas at 0.2 meter cube of volume is 12 bar. And the temperature is to be heated, means this 12 bars gas is to be heated at initial condition of 100 degrees centigrade, so that the net change in internal energy, so delta U represents after the heating process, the internal energy becomes 200 kilojoules. So we have to calculate the final temperature of the gas after heating. So this is the problem. So the initial pressure of a gas, that is we are taking the gas as an air. So the initial pressure of a air P1 is equal to 12 bar. So we have to convert bars in terms of kilonewton per meter square. So 1 bar is equal to 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. 10 to the power of 5 can be written as 10 square into 10 cube. 10 cube represents the kilo. So 1 bar is equal to 10 square kilonewton per meter square. So initial pressure of the air P1 is equal to 12 bars. That is equal to 12 into 10 square kilonewton per meter square. And initial temperature of the air T1 is equal to 100 degrees centigrade. So we have to convert degree centigrade in terms of Kelvin. So 100 plus 273, that is equal to 373 Kelvin. And initial volume of the gas V1 is equal to 0.2 meter cube. So after the gas is heated, the change in internal energy delta U is equal to 200 kilojoules, and specific heat of at constant volume of an gas CV is equal to 0.72 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Specific heat of a gas at a constant pressure Cp is equal to 1.005 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. What we have to calculate is certain mass and final temperature. First one, to calculate the mass of the air before heating. So it is the initial condition. So initial condition of the mass is represented by the letter M1. So we have to calculate M1. How do we calculate the M1? By using the characteristic gas equation. We know the characteristic gas equation as P1 V1 is equal to M1 RT1. From that, M1 is equal to P1 V1 by denominator, this numerator term of RT1 becomes denominator term of LHS side. So P1 V1 by RT1. So by substituting the values of P1 V1 as 0.2 meter cube, R value as 0.285 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and T1 as 373, we will get the mass of air before heating is equal to 2.258 kgs. So this is the first parameter we have to calculate. And second parameter is to calculate the final temperature. So final temperature of the gas is represented by the letter T2. How do we calculate T2? From the Joule's law. So we know from the Joule's law, delta U is equal to, delta U is equal to Q. So is equal to mCV T2 minus T1. So we know the value of change in internal energy as 200 kilojoules, mass as 2.258, CV as 0.72, and T1 as 373 Kelvin. We'll get the final temperature T2 as 123 degrees centigrade. So we have to convert degree centigrade in terms of, so this is the internal energy. Okay, sorry, this is the final temperature. So we have to calculate the final temperature with initial condition of values. So 123 plus 273 is equal to 496 kelvins. So final temperature of the gas T2 is equal to 496 Kelvin. Convert degree Kelvin in terms of degree centigrade. So 1 Kelvin is equal to minus 273 degree centigrade. So 496 minus 273, that is equal to 223 degrees centigrade. And third problem, a 2.5 kgs of an ideal gas is expanded from a pressure of 700 kilopascals and a volume of 1.5 meter cube to a pressure of 140 kilopascals and a volume of 4.5 meter cube. The change in internal energy is 500 kilojoules. Specific heated constant volume for an ideal gas is 0.719 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Determine gas constant, initial and final temperatures. So this is the problem. In this problem, the ideal gas means the gas represented is an ideal gas. So in the ideal gas has a mass of 2.5 kgs and the initial pressure as 700 kilopascals and a volume of 1.5 meter cube. So the pressure reduces from 700 kilopascals to final pressure becomes 140 kilopascals. When the pressure decreases, the volume increases from 1.5 meter cube to 4.5 meter cube. And the change in internal energy is 500 kilojoules. And the specific heat at constant volume CV of an ideal gas is 0.719. We have to calculate two parameters, gas constant R and initial and final temperatures T1 and T2. So this is the problem description. In the problem description, the mass of an ideal gas M is equal to 2.5 kgs. Initial pressure of an ideal gas is 700 kilopascals. So we have to convert kilopascals. So kilopascals in terms of Newton per meter square. So kilo represents 1000. So 700 into 1000. Okay. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. So 700 into 10 cube Newton per meter square. Okay. Initial volume of the gas V1 is equal to 1.5 meter cube. Final pressure of an ideal gas P2 is equal to 140 kilopascals. That is equal to 140 into kilo represents 10 cube. 1 Pascal is equal to Newton per meter square. So 400 into 10 cube Newton per meter square. And final volume of an ideal gas V2 is equal to 4.5 meter cube. And change in internal energy of an ideal gas delta U is equal to 500 kilojoules. So we have to convert kilojoules in terms of joules. So kilo represents 10 cube. So 500 into 10 cube joules. And specific heat at a constant volume of an ideal gas CV is equal to 0.719 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So in that, first we have to calculate the initial and final temperatures to get the values of a gas constant. So first we will calculate initial and final conditions. For calculating the initial and final conditions, we know the equation from a Joule's law. Delta U is equal to mCV dt. So we know the value of delta U, m, CV. Okay. Then dt represents 278.16 kelvins. Okay. So in the given problem, it is an ideal gas equation. So for calculating the temperatures T2 by T1 ratios, because there are two unknown values T1 and T2. So it is calculated from the ideal equation PV by T is equal to constant. So for the initial condition P1 V1 by T1 is equal to final conditions P2 V2 by T2. So we'll get the temperature terms on one side, pressure volume terms as another side. Then the equation becomes T2 by T1, T2 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by P1 V1. Okay. So by substituting the values of P2, V2, P1, V1, we'll get T2 by T1 is equal to 0.6. Okay. From that T2 is equal to 0.6 T1. This equation becomes the second equation. Okay. So equating equation 1 and 2. So delta T is equal to change in internal energy. That implies T1 minus T2 is equal to 278.16, because the pressure it get reduces from 700 kilopascals to 140 kilopascals. So we'll get the change in change in temperature as T1 minus T2. Okay. So in the value of T2, we'll replace as 0.6 T1. So dt is equal to T1 minus 0.6 T1 is equal to 278.16. Taking the common of T1, we'll get 1 minus 0.6 is equal to 278.16. So T1 into 0.1 minus 0.6 value is 0.4. So 0.4 T1 is equal to 278.16. We have to calculate T1. So T1 is equal to 278.16 by 0.4. We'll get the value as 495.4 degree Kelvin. We have to convert degree Kelvin in terms of degree centigrade. So 695.4 minus 273, that is equal to 422.4 degree centigrade. So this is the initial temperature of an ideal gas. And we have to calculate the final temperature. So the final temperature of an ideal gas is calculated from the second equation. T2 is equal to 0.6 T1. We know the value of T1. By substituting the value of T1 in second equation, we will get T2. So T2 is equal to 0.6 T1, that is equal to 0.6 into 695.4, that is equal to 417.24 Kelvin. We have to convert Kelvin in terms of degree centigrade as minus 273. So 417.24 minus 273 represents approximately 144 degrees centigrade. So we have to calculate the first parameter, gas constant. So gas constant is represented by the letter R. So how do we calculate R? From the characteristic gas equation. We know the characteristic gas equation as P1 V1 is equal to M1 R T1. From that we have to calculate the value of R. So R becomes P1 V1 by M1 T1. By substituting the values of P1 V1 M1 T1 from the above values in the given data, we'll get the R value as 604 joule per kg Kelvin. That is equal to, we have to convert joule per kg Kelvin in terms of kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So 604 divided by 1000, that is equal to 0.604 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So second parameter is to calculate initial and final temperatures. In the previous, we calculate the initial temperature as 422.4 degrees centigrade and final temperature as 144 degrees centigrade. So when when the pressure reduces from 700 kilopascals to 140 kilopascals, the temperature also reduces from 422.4 degrees centigrade to 144 degree centigrade. Next, Reynolds law. Reynolds law states that the specific heat of a perfect gas remains constant. Thus, the two specific heats Cp and Cv of a perfect gas do not change in temperature. So, real gases do means that Reynolds law gives the relation between the two specific heats which does not change in the temperature. So, Reynolds law uh, does not real gases does not obey Reynolds law. Only the ideal gases only obeys the Reynolds law. Since the value of Cp and Cv is constant, the ratio of Cp and Cv is also a constant, which is represented by the letter gamma. So gamma is called as a adiabatic index. So Cp value, the ratio of the specific heat of a constant pressure is always greater than the specific heat at a constant volume, because when the heat is added to the constant pressure, its value is greater than the Cv. So Cp is always greater than Cv. So the ratio of Cp by Cv, that is gamma value, is also greater than 1. So adiabatic index gamma is equal to Cp by Cv. In that first problem, the gas constant is 0.287 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and the specific heat at constant volume is 0.714 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Find the specific heat at constant pressure and the ratio of the two specific heats. So given data, gas constant of the air R is equal to 0.287 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and specific heat at constant volume Cv is equal to 0.714 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So we have to calculate first one, specific heat at constant pressures of an air Cp. So how do you calculate Cp? From the given data, it has given the values of R and Cv. So we know the relation between Cp, Cv and R as Cp minus Cv is equal to R. From that, Cp becomes Cv plus R. So Cv value, by substituting Cv and R, we'll get the specific heat at constant pressure as 1.001 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And second parameter we have to calculate is ratio of the two specific heats. The ratio of the two specific heats is represented by the letter gamma. So from the Reynolds law, we states the ratio of two specific heats, that is Cp by Cv is equal to gamma. Substituting the values of Cp and Cv, we will get gamma value as 1.4 for an air. Second one, if 1 kg of an air is heated from 20 degrees centigrade to 95 degrees centigrade, find the change in internal energy and specific heat at constant volume. Take Cp value as 0.72 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and adiabatic index is 1.4. So from the given data, mass of the air m is equal to 1 kg. Initial temperature of the air T1 is equal to 20 degrees centigrade. So we have to convert degree centigrade in terms of Kelvin. So 20 plus 273, that is equal to 293 Kelvin. And final temperature is 95 degrees centigrade. So 95 plus 273, 368 Kelvin. And specific heat at constant pressure Cp of air is 0.714 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And adiabatic index for air gamma is equal to 1.4. So first one, we have to calculate specific heat at constant volume Cv. So from the Reynolds law, we know that Cp by Cv is equal to gamma. So Cv is equal to Cp by gamma. Substituting the values of Cp and gamma, we will get the Cp as 0.514 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And second one, we have to calculate the internal energy. So from the Joule's law, delta U is equal to mCv T2 minus T1. By substituting the values of m as 1 kg, Cv 0.514 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, T2 as 368 Kelvin, T1 as 298, we will get delta U as 38.55 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Next one. If 0.2 kgs of air is heated from 15 degrees centigrade to 180 degrees centigrade, find the change in internal energy and specific heat at constant pressure. Take Cv is equal to 0.714 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and adiabatic index is 1.4. From the given data, mass of the air m is equal to 0.2 kgs and the temperature air at heated from initial temperature is 15 degrees centigrade. So 15 plus 273, 288 Kelvin is heated from 180 degrees centigrade. So T2 is equal to 180 degrees centigrade, that is equal to 453 Kelvin. And specific heat at constant volume CV is equal to 0.714 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and adiabatic index of air gamma is equal to 1.4. So what we have to calculate? Specific heat at constant volume CV. From the Reynolds law, we know that Cp by Cv is equal to gamma. Cp is equal to Cv into gamma. So we'll get Cp value as 1.996 that is approximately 1 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And change in internal energy delta U is equal to mCv T2 minus T1. By substituting these values, we will get the change in internal energy delta U is equal to 23.2562 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Next problem. State the terms involved in the equation and derive Cp is equal to gamma R by gamma minus 1. So we have to derive this equation. Cp is equal to gamma R by gamma minus 1. From the Reynolds law, we know that the ratio of the two specific heats is represented by the letter gamma. So Cp by Cv is equal to gamma. So from this, Cv is equal to Cp by gamma. This is the first equation. And we know the relation between the two specific heats and the constant gas constant R as Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This is the second equation. Substituting first equation in equation 2. So Cp minus, in terms of Cv, we will replacing as first equation Cp by gamma is equal to R. In this we are taking the Cp as common. So Cp into 1 minus 1 by gamma is equal to R. So Cp into, we are taking gamma as common, gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to R. So Cp is equal to gamma R by gamma minus 1. So here the term Cv is equal to specific heat at constant volume, Cp is equal to specific heat at constant pressure, R is equal to universal gas constant, and gamma is equal to adiabatic index. Next problem. State the terms involved in the equation and derive the equation Cv is equal to R by gamma minus 1. Okay. From the Reynolds law, we know the ratio of two specific heats. Cp by Cv is equal to gamma. So Cp is equal to Cv into gamma. This is the first equation. And we know the relation between the two specific heats and the universal gas characteristic gas constant R as Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So Cp, substituting equation 1 in equation 2. So replacing Cp value as Cv into gamma minus Cv is equal to R. Taking Cv as common. So Cv into gamma minus 1 is equal to R. So Cv is equal to R by gamma minus 1, which is the relation for the above problem, where Cv represents the specific heat at constant volume, Cp represents the specific heat at constant pressure, R represents the universal gas constant, and gamma represents the adiabatic index. And next problem is, the value of an adiabatic index of a gas is 1.41 and its specific heat at constant volume is 0.65 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Determine the gas constant. In this problem, the adiabatic index of a gas gamma is equal to 1.41 and specific heat at constant volume Cv is equal to 0.65 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So what we have to calculate the gas constant. So to calculate the gas constant, it is represented by the letter R. So how do we calculate the R? In the previous problem, we will get the relation between Cv, R and gamma as Cv is equal to R by gamma minus 1. So R becomes Cv into gamma, means this denominator term gamma minus 1 in LHS side becomes multiplication in the RH. Sorry, gamma minus 1 in RHS side becomes multiplication numerator term in the LHS term. So R is equal to Cv into gamma minus 1. So substituting value of Cv as 0.65 and gamma value as 1.41, we'll get the gas constant R as 0.2665 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So the gas constant for a gas R is equal to 0.2665 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Thank you.